Welcome to Manga Experts. We are back with another top 10 recommendation list. If you like our videos, please leave a like and a comment of your favorite suggestions below. Without any further ado, let's get started. Number 10. The All-Devouring Whale. It all started with a whale, whose cultivation was all about swallowing things. This was a fantasy world crowded with spiritual monsters. Fan Ling Xiao, the chief of Sky Vagabond, grew a little catfish into an all-devouring whale and became a world-famous spirit master. However, the whale somehow failed in a combat and turned into a cruel zombie whale which swallowed Fan Ling Xiao. When he woke up, everything had changed and he was reincarnated inside a pervert body. The world of this manhwa works more similar to Pokemon. Main character is a reincarnated person and he has to make his sect number 1 in this world. The art is decent and the story is also nice. Characters are also good. It gets a little bit brutal at some points, but still it is a must-read for Pokemon fans. Number 9. Brothers Bond. An exiled prince and his 2 blind samurai protectors set on a dangerous journey to reclaim their kingdom from demonic forces. This is an old webtoon, so the art is on the average side. This webtoon has one of the best storytelling out there. Characters are written well. Main character is annoying at first, but he gets a little bit of character development later on. This webtoon is also not completed, so that is also a minus. With all of its flaws, it still remains one of a kind adventure webtoon. Number 8. I Picked a Mobile from Another World. One day, the main character woke up in another dimension. Everything in that dimension was destroyed. He found some soldiers' bones and weapons. It's only a matter of time before his own entire world is annihilated. To avoid this, Kyung-hun began searching for clues in another universe with the help of a 10-year-old phone he discovered in an abandoned building. The story of this manhwa is very good. The main character has a cool and calm personality. He always makes rational decisions. Side characters are also well written. The only problem with this manhwa is the art. The art looks a little bit below average. Other than that, it is an awesome manhwa with a very decent story. Number 7. The Charm of Soul Pets. Chu Mu, the protagonist, was an heir to the Chu clan, but due to a plotted murder, he was thrown to the island, sentencing him to almost certain death. Dancing on the edge of life and death, he struggled to survive with a small moonlight fox he captured. When he finally escaped the devilish foreman on his island, he couldn't help but let a breath out. But little did he know, the experience was only a beginning to a fated journey with his little moonlight fox. This manhwa is basically Pokemon but on crack. The story of this manhwa is pretty good. The main character is totally ruthless from the start. The art is a little bit above average. There is too much action and gore in it. The plot moves at a nice pace and the story never feels boring. Only read it if you can stomach a ruthless character and a world filled with scums to the brim. Number 6. Tales of Dragon Consort. During the Warring States period between the warlords in ancient China, a young lady named Long Mian suddenly awakened the dragon's power within her blood on the day of her 16th birthday. On the exact same day, she just so happened to meet a mysterious 17-year-old young man who ended up becoming her dragon consort. Henceforth, the two of them would share the power of a dragon and the same fate of life and death. In order to conclude the seemingly never-ending battles between each kingdom and to achieve the dream of unifying the entire continent, they embarked on a perilous journey across the different kingdoms. This manhwa has a good adventure-type story where the main character is a newly awakened dragon. She has to travel around the world and find different things to increase her power, so she can take revenge on the empire which demolished her kingdom. The art of this manhwa is fairly decent and the story also has a kick of originality to it, and there is also a little bit of romance involved in it. Number 5. Taoist Master Hoguk. Hoguk wanted to be a Taoist like the person who saved him from Ghoul when he was young, so he enrolled to the school in Mount Yangjiao, but he had no talent or signs of having energy. His future was without any hope. One day, a group of ghouls that were looking for a special soul noticed Hoguk's special ability of hearing the sounds of the spirits and started threatening him. They burned down the school of Mount Yangjiao and got Hoguk's friends all killed horribly. After barely surviving from there, Hoguk promised to himself that he will become a Taoist to kill the ghouls and protect what is important to him. This manhwa is quite good. It has some of those Tokyo Ghoul and Demon Slayer vibes. The art is nice and easy on the eyes. Characters are well written. World building is also on point. The pacing of the story is a little bit slow, but it never gets boring. Number 4. Swordmaster's Youngest Son. Jin Run Candle is the youngest son of the greatest sword master. After he gets himself kicked out of their clan, he meets a tragic fate. But before he dies, a god gives him a second chance. Now he must use his new power for good. Will Jin become the world's strongest swordsmaster and live up to his greatest potential? This is another regressor type manhwa where the main character is a noble, but he is useless potato, so he dies a meaningless death and gets reincarnated to the point in time where he was a baby. Now he must use all of his future knowledge to get back at everyone who belittled him in his last life. The story is good, the art is also well drawn. Main character's personality is that of your average all-knowing kid. The side characters are well written. The author did a very good job with the world building and foreshadowing future events. The only major problem with this manhwa is the pacing of the story. The plot moves very slowly and it becomes a little bit boring for those guys who are in for the action. This manhwa is more focused on character development in the first 15 or so chapters. Number 3. Devil Up. Silas Reinhardt awakens to the afterlife and faces the consequences of his dying words. He had cursed the gods and blamed them for the horror that had struck his village. And now, Silas finds himself in hell, doomed to perish forever. But when the devil offers Silas a deal, his fate is altered. He can return to the world and collect souls as the devil's spawn. But if Silas refuses, the devil will torture the soul of his loved one for eternity. This is a real hidden gem. The main character has two personalities, one where he acts normal and another one where he transforms into a devil and becomes totally ruthless. Overall art is good, but it becomes inconsistent during some fight scenes. The characters are very well made and some of them are very unique. The fight scenes are a little bit long, but they never get boring. The overall story is also very good and the world building is top notch. Number 2. Ordeal. Che is just a human in a world full of superpowered kimyos, but he's determined to become the greatest fighter to ever live. When his beloved mentor is murdered, Che swears vengeance and embarks on a mission to unmask the killer. But soon, Che learns that the world full of kimyos is much larger than he ever imagined, and that he himself might be one of the most powerful kimyo on Earth, with the power of the sun itself. Will Che be able to harness his new strength, or will he burn up in the heat of this ordeal? This webtoon is a total beast. The story at first has a little bit of loopholes, but later on it becomes way more better. The art of this webtoon is amazing and it shines the most during fight scenes. Characters are well written and the world building is top notch. When it comes back to backstories, this webtoon totally nails it. This is a must read if you haven't tried it yet. Number 1. The Macrocosm Era. One day, the main character awakens a superpower where sometimes he can see a fraction of the future events. The Earth is going to be destroyed in a few months, and now it is all up to the main character, who is the head of a mercenary corps, to find a spaceship named Noah and rescue as many humans as he can from the Earth, and then take them to the outer space in search of another livable planet. But the universe is filled with endless sky and infinite space. The cosmos isn't some paradise waiting to be found. It is full of darkness and danger, death and terror of the great unknown. However, for that glittering swath of blue, humanity have no fear. For the longevity of men, they have no regrets. Nothing shall stand in their way because it is finally the time, the era of great universe. This has now become one of my favorite manhwas. The story is so good and I have never seen a manhwa with a story this good. I think this manhwa also deserves a live adaptation. The world building is massive, there are also some planet building elements in it. The art of this manhwa is also pretty good. There are many well-crafted shooting action scenes. I can easily say this manhwa is a real hidden gem which deserves way more love. Do you agree with our picks? Check out our other videos for more suggestions and don't forget to give us a like before going. Until then, take care and we will see you in our next video.